hands and put them in the air. Good afternoon, Philadelphia Eagles fans, and good afternoon, NFL fans, to week 14 of the 2019 football season. I'm here, Kid Philly, your host for a matchup with the New York Football Giants, visiting here Monday night against my struggling Philadelphia Eagles, coming off of 3 consecutive losses, but looking to rebound and keeping very faint playoff hopes alive here in Philadelphia. Man, first let's start off, yes, it's kind of sunny, but also kind of windy here, so just gotta deal with it. Next up, if you didn't see my rant video after following the Miami Dolphins loss, feel free to tune in. That tells you kind of like my mentality of where I think my Philadelphia Eagles are at, a little bit of my discuss on how we've been playing and how we have not been changing our game plan in order to win games. But you know what? I find a way every single week to bounce back, to find a reason that our Philadelphia Eagles can win and move forward, hopefully get in the playoffs and do something special. So this week's gonna be no different. Yes, am I highly frustrated with my Philadelphia Eagles, especially losing to the Miami Dolphins? Yes, I am. But this is a week-to-week kind of league. You can't stay down forever. You gotta bounce back, and that's exactly what I wanna do. And what better way to bounce back than against an Eli Manning-led New York Giants football team? Yes, you heard that right. Most likely, Eli Manning will be playing as the starting quarterback probably for the final times of his career here at the Link, starting on Monday night. Because Daniel Jones, as of right now, has a high ankle sprain, might keep him out for the rest of the season. So I do have to give a level of respect. I know the Eagles and the Giants are rivals and that sort of thing, but I'm a respectful fan. You guys know that. They've been tuning in. Eli Manning, very interesting road. I mean, got drafted, pretty much refused to play for the Chargers. Got traded over that whole Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning trade. Played for the New York Football Giants with a strong defense. Has won 2 Super Bowls. It was the Super Bowl MVP. Maybe got a little help from his brother. Who knows? Whatever. But still, has won 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and then found himself in a weird spot this year where I think he started the first 2 games of the season. Now the Giants are looking to move forward in the future and put Eli Manning on the bench for Daniel Jones. And I have to say, respectfully, that he's handled himself professionally and with class. It's not easy for a 2-time MVP Super Bowl champion to accept the role that a team has given. Now, it's a little different than when McAdoo was coach and he benched him for Geno Smith. That was insane in itself. But this is more of the end of a career of somebody that has done some good things in the league. Regardless of what you think about him being an elite quarterback or not, if a guy wins Super Bowls, multiple, that's something to be said. So Eli Manning, a little bit of respect here from Philadelphia for your career, but letting you know we don't want you to go out on top. Because we're fully aware of your record against us here, and it has not been good. Your overall record is 10-20 against us. You've thrown a lot of interceptions. You average at least getting sacked twice a game. I think you've been sacked 60 times against us, and we want that to continue. Especially coming off the kind of loss that we did last week, though. We definitely cannot take this for granted because the Giants, regardless that they're 2-10, because we're playing against a 2-win team last week in the Miami Dolphins, they found a reason to rally and beat us. We don't want to repeat that this week. And the Giants definitely have the ability to, and I'll tell you exactly why. They have the shot at beating us. I just hope they don't. The Giants have some weapons on offense, some weapons on defense that we struggle with. Some things we're strong against. Straight up, Eli Manning. Eli Manning has always struggled against us, and I told you his record against us, so we fare pretty good, and we can rush him. He's not a mobile quarterback, so if we can get after him, if we can cause for him to hold on to the football longer than normal, we can get after him. If he gets the ball out quick, we're going to be in trouble. Especially if he gets the ball out quick to taller receivers. Like Cody Latimer, which is 6'3". Yes, I'm highlighting this for a reason because I did last week as well, and it burned us with Devontae Parker. But Cody Latimer, which is 6'3", and their new tight end, Caden Smith. This guy is a 6'5", 250-pound tight end. Those are specific people that I'm highlighting because we've been running into issues even if we're in good position defensively with our corners and our linebackers. It seems like we have a problem with taller receivers and tight ends. And Eli Manning does have a ball that he can just chuck it up there gently and let his receivers go get it and either get pass interference or come down with the ball uncontested, because we ran into a lot of issues, especially last week on this. And that's in the passing game, how they can give us a lot of problems, a lot of trouble. In the running game, yes, highly drafted Saquon Barkley. Now, he only ran for 83 yards last week, but he is somebody that has a lot of talent, and if you start balancing the pass and the run, it can be very, very dangerous. Now, our Philadelphia Eagles are really good at run defense, so we're looking to stuff Saquon Barkley, but we have a very suspect, even though our starters are healthy right now. Ronald Darby and Jalen Mills are healthy right now. Doesn't mean anything if they can't guard against the pass against taller receivers, which I would like to see Rasul Douglas. That's what I would like to see, because at least Rasul Douglas is a 6'2". He's a little bit closer. He's somebody that we can use, maybe even just right there on Smith, like we used to use back in the day with Bobby Taylor when we used to play against Dallas and go against Michael Irvin. We might have to do that, but it causes for our defensive coordinator to do something different. We can't line up the same guys that are smaller and expect a different result. And on offense, the Giants actually are pretty good run defense, but I do not care about that, to be honest with you. I still want to see us running the ball. I want to see a matchup, Miles Sanders versus Saquon Barkley. Yes, it's really windy. Holy crap, it's cold. Oh well. But I want to see 20 rushes. I do. Because if we average 4.5 or 4.9 yards per carry, there's no reason in the world why we shouldn't just be running it all day. I don't want to see Carson Wentz throwing the ball over 40 times. I don't. I really don't. Because right now, the Giants also are one of the best teams in the league against tight ends, which means the security blanket for Carson Wentz is not going to be there this week, most likely, with Zach Ertz. Last week, Zach Ertz ran into some ball security issues, missing balls right over the middle when it was thrown hit him right in his hands, or contested throws, and couldn't haul in to give us a better position to win the game against Miami. So we're going to be pointing to Alshon Jeffrey and Nelson Aguilar. We did get rid of Mac Hollins finally. The guy hasn't produced anything whatsoever. I mean, yeah, thank you for your time, but really kind of like, no thank you. You really only wanted to be a special teams player. And sorry, we need more than just special teams. We need receivers. So Greg Ward's going to be suiting up, I think, still. And other people that are just hungry. We're in a place right now, we can't afford another loss, especially in the NFC East. Technically, will we be mathematically out of it? No. We have to wait a little bit to see how Dallas is going to play tonight against Chicago. Yes, we want Chicago to win. But at the same time, we got to handle our own business. That's what we got to do here in Philly. It starts here on Monday night. This is a game against two very struggling teams, the Giants. 8-game losing streak, the Eagles. 3-game losing streak on a Monday night game that the NFL kind of didn't see coming. That's why we were put on Monday night. But now it's time to turn it up. Get the ball out of Carson Wentz's hands. And I want to see hungry running backs rushing for over 20 carries in the game, over 100 yards. I want to see that. And Carson, when you do throw, take what's given. Take the chuck down. It's okay. Let's control the clock. Let's float some balls up there and let our guys go get it against their struggling secondary. Yes, it's struggling, but don't put too much on yourself. Let the team win it this week. Put some on your rookies. Put it on Miles Sanders. Let him show off against the guy that he used to run behind, and let him have more rushing yards than Saquon Barkley. I think it can happen. Doug, a trick play is coming. At some point in the game today, Doug and Jim Schwartz and your special teams, a trick play is coming. Please, guard against it. Be ready for it, or get ready to call a timeout, but you know it's coming because we have been hit with it 3 weeks in a row. Be prepared for it. and let's come up with one of our own. This is a team that came up with the Philly Special during the Super Bowl. Let's get creative this week, and let's show this league that we're not out of it yet. Every single year, we find a reason to say, oh, it's over. No matter if it's Carson Wentz getting hurt permanently or his back going out on the next year, we find a way to go on a run at the end of the season. Technically, our Eagles control our own destiny. If we win out from this point on, we win the NFC East at 9-7. So yeah, today I want to end this video with a special shout out. And this special shout out actually goes to a Seattle Seahawks fan, Jesse Guy. A couple weeks ago, we lost to the Seattle Seahawks here, 17-9. And one of the reasons why I love this channel is because sometimes it brings out the best in fans, no matter if they're Eagles fans or not. This is a guy that after his team beat us, he could come to the channel and talk as much trash as he wanted to. Because of our interaction and how we're both good fans of our teams, he chose to encourage. He chose to encourage. This guy reminded me about the same woes that Seattle had years ago when it looked like the NFC West was absolute trash and Seattle was able to get into the playoffs at 7-9. He said, don't forget, one time we get in the playoffs at 7-9 and everybody just thought that was just a big mistake. They should revamp the playoff seeding and all that mess like that. And you know what happened? They got in the playoffs and won their first game. This guy came on an Eagles channel to tell us to keep our heads up. So you know what, Jesse Guy, thank you very much. Big shout out to you here from Philadelphia. Let's take some of that momentum. There's people out there cheering for us, rooting for us. We're still underdogs. We can't give up on our own, and we can't give up on ourselves. Let's go and beat the Giants here at the lake Monday night and go on a stretch